turn on your mic and you're all set.
We got to turn on. Let's see. I got mine on, right?
No, you're switched. You're right in front of you.
My switch is on.
Sorry. Well, it was working a minute ago.
Check.
Which way's on?
Just towards you on.
We're all working a second ago. Hang on a second.
Where's that?
No, it's probably just this way. Anyhow.
That's better.
We're okay.
All right.
We're good.
Good evening. I'd like to call the regular town board meeting, April 8th, 2021, to order. And if you would, please rise. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, at this point, I'll ask if we have any visitors who wish to speak. We have public access at the end of the meeting also. Nobody at this point. We'll move right into the business. Gentlemen, the minutes of the previous meetings, March 11th, the public hearing, and March 11th, the regular meeting. Can I have a motion on them?
I'll make a motion to accept.
Motion and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Reports by elected officials and department heads. Town clerk, Mr. Lewis.
Okay. Let's see, month of March, the income from our office was $8,445.31. $5,961 of that was for recycling sales, both up top and at the center. We had $1,250 in rental fees. That was 9 new community center reservations. $591 in dog licenses. That was pretty high. We had 79 renewals and 9 new members of the community. Then we had $643 in miscellaneous fees. In our office, let's see, we've ordered the beach passes. People are calling and actually stopping in. Came to get my new beach pass, but they're ordered. They'll be in probably a couple weeks. And
We're ready to go, huh?
Yep. And, we're still getting calls for the camp whenever we get that straightened out. That's it.
Okay. Yep. Motion to approve bills report.
I'll make it. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Highway report. Ed O'Donnell, Deputy Highway Superintendent. Mr. O'Donnell.
Patched roads, 10 days. Hauled brush to the landfill, 2 days. Hauled cardboard, 2 days. Cut brush along the roads, 5 days. Hang veteran banners, 1 day. Plow and sand roads, 2 days. Wash trucks, 2 days. Haul sand, 2 days. Repair gravel roads, 3 days. Clean up the beach, 3 days. Rake lawns, 5 days. Paint wings and plows, 3 days. Paint and repair picnic tables, 6 days. Sweep roads, 7 days. Remove sanders and wings, 3 days.
Very good.
That's good.
Motion to approve Ed's report.
I'll make it. I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Water Department, Mr. Bradley. Bill?
Good evening. Water and sewer report for March 2021. We collected all our water samples for the month. I did a little bit of an analysis for the water collection. We collected $496,000. We got a balance of almost $77,000 outstanding with 481 accounts overdue. Kind of looked at the whole addressing to see, because the whole postal system issues and everything else, to see if there was any, clustering or anything else in any kind of the carrier routes. And the only one that kind of jumped out seems to be along Route 2. So I'm going to try to figure out if that was, something that we look at the actual carrier route and see if there was an issue with that in there. But one of the things is, like the tax bills, we could post the water bills. Now, some people have complained about the postcards being in the mail, so there might be some pushback, but the tax bills are available. We can make a PDF file that would make the water bills available. So that's something to kind of think about. So people will say, well, I never got my water bill or whatever, at least we'd have it up online. There's been a lot of activity locating services and everything down in Sickaway. They're doing a major gas mains replacements of all the cast iron down Sickaway Ave, Cooper, Film, Coolidge, and Mellon and that. So we've marked all those out. We're putting all that information on GIS system. The county's paving North Lake, so we've gone all through North Lake and done the same thing there. There's some repairs that we need to do before they get in there. They didn't really give us any real notice on when they're gonna, it'd be nice to know that they're going to do this ahead of time. I mean, they must have had this planned last year, you would think. Give us a little notice, but there is some work that we should do before we have to cut open a brand new road, so. The Duesenberry solar project has started, so just out there kind of looking at what's going on. I mean, it's dry, relatively dry out there, so they're going great guns, putting the roads in and everything else they gotta go and do. I talked to a couple members here. The Department of Health is pushing on this cybersecurity. Actually should have been, something that should have been done. They asked us 2 years ago to do this. Cybersecurity it's a big deal in the sense that it's a constantly evolving threat that they want us to manage, which if the government can't manage it, I'm not quite sure, how we're going to manage it. But we have to make the best effort and try to put some policies, and that's with all our vendors that supply to us. That's, internally what we do. So it's just kind of like another unfunded mandate to pile on that we're supposed to do every year and report on. So we'll do what we can, but it's I guess Gordy would appreciate this. I was thinking about this afternoon. It's like beekeeping. You do your best to suit up, but guess what? You're going to get stung at some point in time. They're going to find their way in. So that's just the way I kind of view it, but we want to mitigate it, I guess, as much as possible. That's all I got. Any questions?
Questions?
Thank you.
Thanks, Bill. Thank you, Bill. I'll make a motion to approve Bill's report. Can I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor? Thank
Aye.
Mr. Golden, Superintendent of Utilities and Inspection.
Good evening, gentlemen. The building department report for March of 2021, we had 77 building and property inspections, 19 building permits issued or renewed, 12 meetings, 2 planning board meetings, 1 zoning board meeting, 0 court cases, 12 fire inspections, 5 follow-up complaint inspections, as well as meetings, phone calls, and letters, 1 code call-out, 6 code complaints, 5 code complaint inspections, 0 vacant and abandoned properties were identified, 10 planning board projects open or granted, and 5 zoning board projects open or granted. The numbers for March, and this kind of piggybacks on Bill saying that Duesenberry was started, the evaluations were $2,996,152.45, of which $2,689,183 was the Duesenberry solar farm. So we had, as I say previously, 19 permits issued, and I think so far this month, we're up to 8. So things are, spring is sprung and people are starting to build despite the high price of lumber. Any questions, John?
12 fires, that was more than normal, right?
12 fires, 12 fire inspections.
Oh, inspectors. Okay.
Yeah, I only had 1 call out. It was a actual vehicle into a structure. Mark is, so has been in that fire business a lot longer than I have, but I didn't realize how many times vehicles run into buildings. And it's frequently. And this was the Compass Realty building up on Route 7, which has been demolished. It was a total loss. That was the code call out. So.
Thanks, sir.
Thanks, Chuck. All right, entertain a motion to approve Chuck's report.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Town Attorney, Mr. Chaffee.
I prepared the resolutions for tonight's meeting. I've also been working with the supervisor's office on arranging for the study of multifamily and 2-family housing in the town to be conducted as required by the new law imposing a moratorium on those types of dwellings in the town. I also attended and participated in internal meetings pertaining to the ongoing impasse mediation between the town and the union representing our water department and highway department employees. Also been working with the building department on an outstanding FOIL request. I attended and participated in a meeting with the building department staff pertaining to code enforcement issues. Worked with the supervisor's office on some purchasing issues. Worked with the supervisor's office on some personnel issues. Worked with the assessor's office on a personnel matter. I also performed legal research as necessary to respond to a variety of legal questions posed by various officials and employees.
Thank you. Entertain a motion to approve Tom's report.
I'll second then.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Brunswick Community Library.
Good evening. Martha Ann Gaby. I'm reporting for Sarah Hopkins. I have the statistics for the Brunswick Community Library for March 2021. The highlights of the month, we opened for in-person browsing by appointment on March 15th, and it went very smoothly. In fact, Sarah's looking to open to approximately 50% capacity sometime in May. And we've asked our architect or the person on the board who's the architect what our capacity would be. Looks like for non-special appointments, it's about 26 to 20 to 30. And so Sarah's looking at about 10 people to come in at a time, which will be very nice. It's been a long 14 months. The Upper Hudson Library System lowered the return book quarantine time from 48 hours to 20, pardon me, I misspoke, from 4 days to 2 days. And hopefully with the new CDC recommendations, that will be eliminated soon. Staff eligible for a vaccine as of March 13th, and I think almost all the staff have received at least one shot. By the end of April, they should have 2. Sarah has started her seed library. She started this last year where with the participating children and adults in the community, mainly online, she starts these little seeds in little styrofoam cups, and then when they get to be a certain height, they come in and they pick them up, but she follows them on video and she's posted online from it. It's really kind of cute. She has a mini library egg hunt for individual families. And what happens is when, it's because we can't really have our little bunny hunt or our egg hunt like we had the other years. When they come in for their appointments, she hides eggs around in the backyard for the little kids. And that's going very well. And lastly, yay, Garden Day is set for June 5th from 9 to 2. And we are going to couple this with another fundraiser, a barbecue chicken dinner fundraiser. So hopefully we can really get a nice little pot for the library. Her physical service numbers, I'm going to read them and you can ask me questions at the end. I'll answer them as best I can. The physical services that the library has performed this past month: reference questions 860, pickup appointments 527, browsing appointments 79, and that's only in the half month since she reopened. Physical checkouts 2,397, Wi-Fi uses 67. That must be people who park in the parking lot because we have not allowed people to come in and sit at the computers yet. That probably won't be until the phase after allowing people to browse. Digital services, which have really picked up in the past 14 months. Ebook checkouts, 1,089. Audiobook checkouts, 602, for a total checkouts of 1,885. Hoopla, which is a digital service where you can access magazines and newspapers, which she picked up this past year, which she picked up this past year. Digital checkouts 67. The new one she got is Newsbank, which gives you the Times Union and a lot of other local papers, 263. Program statistics, book club met 10 times. Book bags, 26 book bags. She makes books of a certain genre, leaves them in the shed, and people pick them up. Take-home activities 82, seed library 20 participants, and library egg hunts 41. Any questions?
Very good. Busy.
Well, she has been, it's been surprising. She's kept herself busy, and I'm very, very happy that we're reached the part in our reopening plan where the people are physically coming into the library again.
Excellent.
So, thank you so
Mark.
much.
Thank you. All right, entertain a motion to approve the library report.
I'll make the motion.
Mark, I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, Bill, you want to do some resolutions?
Sure. Okay, I have 3 tonight. Resolution number 39, 2021. Resolution accepting proposal for consulting, engineering, and planning services for the revisions to the zoning law.
Okay, go ahead. Mark, go ahead.
Mark, okay. Foregoing resolution offered by Councilman Christian, seconded by Councilman Balistrary. Roll call vote. Councilman Sipperly.
Aye.
Councilman Christian. Councilman Sullivan.
Aye.
Councilman Balistrary.
Aye.
Supervisor Harrington.
Aye.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution 40, 2021. Resolution declaring item to be surplus property.
I'll offer it.
I'll second it.
Foregoing resolutions offered by Councilman Sullivan, seconded by Councilman Christian. Roll call vote. Councilman Sipperly.
Aye.
Councilman Christian.
Aye.
Councilman Sullivan.
Aye.
Councilman Balistrary.
Aye.
Supervisor Harrington.
Aye.
Resolution is adopted.
The surplus property was a 2009 GMC 4x4 highway truck, 62,000 miles with a 10-foot Fisher plow. So
Okay, Resolution 41, 2021. Resolution approving form and content of intermunicipal agreement and authorizing execution of intermunicipal agreement.
I'll offer it.
I'll second it.
this is a Sharp Road property subdivision, 17-lot residential subdivision. This is our agreement with North Greenbush, correct, Tom?
Correct.
Correct.
There's issues pertaining to the public water supply. And how to bill and what to do if people don't pay. You got this subdivision with lots are in both towns. It's on the border.
Okay.
Okay, foregoing resolution offered by Councilman Sullivan, seconded by Councilman Christian. Roll call vote. Councilman Sipperly.
Aye.
Councilman Christian.
Aye.
Councilman Sullivan.
Aye.
Councilman Balistrary.
Aye.
Supervisor Harrington.
Aye.
Resolution is adopted. That's it.
All right. Correspondence?
No, I don't have anything.
None?
Nope.
Board, we got any old business or new business?
No.
The phone is ringing every day about people wondering about our day camp, summer camp. And we're going to give that a try. We're working with the school. They're going to allow us to use some of their rooms like they always have. So hopefully we can get the beach open and get a little bit back to normal. So we're trying to see how many counselors we're going to need and try to get that in place. So. Okay. Warrants. So we make a motion to pay the
I
bill?
think we should pay our bills. I'll make that motion.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We're rolling right through things tonight here. Board have anything else?
No.
Any visitors at this point?
Come on.
Further comments? Jim, come on up.
Yeah, Jim Zaschik, 387 Brunswick Road. Phil, you did it. I have to commend you.
Oh, Pete, wait a minute.
I was talking
Let me
about
turn
the,
things up.
I was talking about the speed limit on Route 2, and 4 days later, they put up that sign to slow the traffic down. Okay, all we have to do is make it permanent now.
Yeah.
All right. And then they,
You get to learn after about 30 years. I figured out a few phone numbers to
yeah,
call.
the neighbors are starting a petition. We're getting a petition
Yes.
going on this, and then I'd like to talk about that as that develops.
Appreciate that. So,
I had a question about the resolution about the zoning.
yep.
Is there any specific area or activity that this is going to cover? Or
With LaBerge, what we're
Right.
looking at.
is it
Tom,
just generally?
you wanna
Well, there's two aspects to the resolution. One was just for general zoning issues which have come up. One, we adopted the new zoning law in 2017.
Mhm.
And once it started being applied, we came across some things which we thought could be tweaked a little bit. So we're not talking about a major revamp here. We're talking about correcting some issues and maybe making some changes and taking a look at some things where we've kind of felt that issues have arisen. The other aspect had to do with the moratorium, which was passed, and that relates, strictly to the moratorium was on two-family and multifamily housing. And so the purpose of the moratorium, of course, was to study that in the town and determine whether any changes need to be made with respect to those regulations that are also in the zoning ordinance. So that's kind of what there's kind of like a dual focus to
Okay.
it.
So this is like an open-ended, 'cause the thing is, when LaBerge did the zoning last time on 17, and I remember being from the comprehensive plan committee, it took a long time to get the zoning done. And I just wondered whether there's a drop dead date on this.
At least to the extent that it involves the moratorium, either it has to be done by the end of the moratorium,
Is that 6 months?
6
Yeah.
months, but it's already underway.
Right.
So, and we're getting to hire them tonight because of, this is when the board meeting is. But, so I don't think that, I don't think that there's going to be any, desire on the part of the town to drag this out.
Right.
I mean, it's gotta get done. I mean, if we have to, I mean, I think you could consider segregating those two issues and things, and you could even do, two separate laws, I suppose, if you had to. But that moratorium has kind of got a clock on it. Now, moratoriums have, they can be extended, and sometimes they are extended, but the court doesn't look favorably on doing that.
Okay. And then the other thing that, like with the state budget and all the new laws, what's the situation of like somebody wants to open a marijuana shop in Brunswick in zoning? Well, now's the time to
Yeah.
think about it.
Yeah.
Right? Is there anything in the zoning?
No, I don't believe there's anything. Is there, Chuck? I can't think of anything. That's in the zoning law now about it. I'm-
Okay.
We'd have to look and see whether it could fit itself under something, but I've got to think that this is going to be something that's pretty specialized. So we'll have to be looking into that. And, it looks like there's always stuff that we can add to this, but, we've got to get this done, at least insofar as the moratorium goes. We've been getting along with these kind of tweaks that we'd like to see considered. But, this moratorium, we're kind of under a time limit on that.
And Phil, also another agricultural opportunity,
What's that, Jim?
growing marijuana.
Right.
Oh.
All right, I don't know, it's just, I don't know what the state laws or something like. And then also, has the town received any COVID stimulus money?
We have not received any. Pat? Not yet.
Is there any in the pipeline or anything? I'm just curious.
There is money in the pipeline. We don't know what it's supposed to be used for. In the past, when they did the stimulus, and originally it was said it was close to $3 million Brunswick was supposed to get.
Mhm.
Last we heard it was down to like 1.4, and they were putting the rules together now. And so
Who's doing?
the federal government. Because originally it was supposed to come through the state, then we heard that it was going to come through straight from the feds to us. But they haven't put together the rules on what it's supposed to be used for yet.
Okay. Now, do you have to make a proposal for the money?
We don't really know.
Yeah.
They haven't come out with the rules. One pass-through was, it was supposed to be for monies that you have lost from COVID, and we can document that. And another portion of it was for projects that were put on hold because of COVID.
Mhm.
Be able to get funded.
Yeah.
But again, when we talked to, what you call it,
Delgado's office?
no, not Delgado's office, because they really didn't know anything at that point. The Association of Towns was working with Schumer's office on what the feds were coming out with.
Mhm.
And then the Association of Towns was gonna send out to all its members what they came up with, the rules of rank, and we haven't seen that yet.
Well, interesting, because my wife grew up in Canton, New York, and we get the local paper from there. And it seems like every town and school district has gotten some sort of distribution. I'm not sure why we haven't grabbed any yet. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
What I am hoping, Jim, is we can get some of this COVID money for our summer camp in our beach, because we're gonna have to hire more counselors, spread kids out. So I'm hoping that we can get some funds that can use it to offset the cost, because it's an awful expensive program, and, you know, we don't recover everything, and minimum wage keeps going up for the kids, and so I'm hoping I can get a pocket of that money and keep our costs down.
Right.
One thing I'm trying.
Okay.
And the other thing to mention is, not getting into it too deep here, as Tom mentioned, with the moratorium, we're on a time frame. We got to keep things rolling. But as you know, our building department's been making some notes of things that they bumped into with our update with the zoning that we got concerns with, the attorneys have. So again, when we did our comp plan, we had, as you mentioned, you were on a lot of committees, and it went on forever. But that being said, I would like to, of course, we've got an estimate from LaBerge, 12 to 15,000 based on so many meetings and whatever. But I'd like to have, I'll go on record as saying, Tom probably will shoot me here, but I'd like to have a workshop with the general public for some input on what they're thinking about the zoning, to give you and people, we can't stretch this out forever, but I want to know what the people in the town are thinking for different areas and stuff too. So there'll be, and we'll have a public hearing anyway.
Of course, yeah, there has to, it's going to be a local law, so, or at least one, maybe two, whatever, but there'll be public input at that, of course.
Yeah.
But maybe we get a workshop or something,
Yeah, I think it's also, once again, I'm very untechnical, but I think the website is the place to, publicize this.
Okay.
I'm always, it's never enough just to make a notice for a public hearing, because these things never, they disappear in the legal section and like. So I think if we get something going, advertised on that, and.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
just use it. Okay, all right, thank you.
Anybody else at this point? I'll make a motion to adjourn, but I'd like to do it. I was just sitting up here tonight thinking we've lost at least, if I leave anybody out, we'll do it next month, but we've lost 3 outstanding members of the Brunswick community here in the last week or 2. So I'd like to adjourn in memory of those people. One being John Tarbox, longtime farmer, large family. Most of them still living in Brunswick. John's son, David, of course, is on the planning board. His daughter Linda is on the planning board also. The daughter-in-law, Jane Tarbox, is our receiver of taxes. John's wife, Joanne, served on the town board. Everybody knows the Tarbox family. And I was honored to know John and the family and being a fellow farmer. Was always, and Jim related, and Mark, especially with anybody, any farm background. Super smart guy and just a wealth of information and just big Brunswick people. The other one, Jimmy Spiak, all us old timers in town. Everybody knows Spiak's garage up the road. One of the last places I think where you can go and a guy would come out and pump your gas for you and check your oil and wash your windows. And Jimmy was part of the Brunswick community forever, and just a great person. I was always impressed because every time I went in there, he would say, he'd run out. A couple of ladies would come in. He said, "How are you today, young ladies?" I looked, it had to be 90 all the time. Everything, it just bubbly. And we lost Jim, and that's very tough. And also Don Lambert just passed away a couple of days ago. Don was a long time chairman of our planning board. He designed Brunswick Greens Golf Course. Don enjoyed politics. He had to be on one party, and I was on the other. And that was always fun, but it was always in good natured. But I don't like this. We're losing a lot of outstanding members, and I know there's many more, and I don't mean to leave anybody out, but I like to adjourn tonight's meeting in honor of those 3 individuals. Could I have a second?
Yeah, that's
All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Thank you.
Aye.